Well, hi, and thanks for dropping into my shop and joining me for the next phase of work on this radio. This is a PYE radio, PYE, number 39. It's a multi-band, shortwave broadcast band listening radio. It's an excellent radio. I wonder what its position was in its own day. When this came out in the late 40s, I wonder if this was a bit of a blockbuster or just another radio. And what would set this one apart is the fantastic shortwave broadcast band spread. This radio only receives the international broadcast bands. It also receives local AM too, but it doesn't receive shortwave generally like most or many shortwave radios do. So this is a great radio for listening to international broadcast. So the problem with it though is the output is still low, the volume is still low on it. I have to have the volume control turned up right full. It's not plugged in, it's not turned on right now. I have to have the volume up right full before any of the actual radio signal will make it through to the audio portion of the radio. So there's something funny going on with this volume control, and this is the tone switch. They don't use a tone control, they have setting, and you click through the tone switch. I think it also switches in the phono input, because I think there's a phono input on this. I could be mistaken. And this control has never worked properly since the day I got this radio. Turning the tone control seemed to be the effect of it on tone quality and volume seemed to me to not be what the designers of the radio had intended. That's how it seemed, and I always had to have this set to one spot to get the reasonable sound out of it. So maybe we can sort all this out and fix this stuff up. And I see that there is another original wax paper capacitor hidden right behind this control, way back in there. Let's see if we can get a look at it. And that's what I'm going to be going after in this video. I'm going to try to get that capacitor out of there and replace it. Let's see if we can even see it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I just jam my camera right into the radio here. What I'm going to do is turn off the autofocus, since it's never terribly helpful in these circumstances. I'll focus it myself. Put something like that. Now, I don't see any capacitor there yet. Got my camera jammed right into the radio. Let's get it out of here. Maybe up through here. So you're trying to look right across this to the far side. See, I think I'm seeing a bit of it there on the far left, far right of your screen. It might be the far left of your screen, because this image is backwards on my oh, look at that. Maybe that'll be a better way. Get the camera upside down. Get this clip lead out of here. It's not helping. So, okay, where is that capacitor? No wonder I missed it when I was changing these so many. There it is. There it is, loud and clear. You little bugger. How am I going to get at that? I can't even see where the wires are going. There's one wire coming out of the end there. There. So it's just shooting right to that pin right there. There's another wire coming up. Can't quite see what that other wire is doing. Let's see if we can see the other end of that capacitor now. There's the other end of it. Down through there. Here, I think if I adjust the focus, because I got it set for near things, let's focus it a little further away. There it is. Now we can see it much more clearly. 5 on it there. What's the 5? That is a capacitor, isn't it? So my thinking here is maybe I can't get it out, but maybe I can cut it away and put a replacement in. But I'm also going to have to figure out what value is it, where is it in the circuit. So it really seems to be connected right on the control here. Right? Let's look at the other end again. Right on the switch, rather. Okay, so that end, is that a ground lug down there? No, that's another. What is that? I think that's a lug on the switch. That's a post. I guess you could say a post. So it's tucked neatly between 2 posts. Oh my god. How am I going to get at that? I can barely see it, let alone work on it. I'm going to have to remove the switch. And that's a disaster in the making. You know, that's exactly how I could have ended up in all this trouble. Maybe once in the past I loosened this switch off. It doesn't look like it. These wires, they don't look proper. Like they're not dressed properly. But they may have been moved for other reasons. Solder looks original. No, maybe not. So what could I do? I could loosen this switch and try to rotate it. Just leaving the wires, just rotate it and get a few degrees on it. And that might be enough to bring the capacitor up. Not a lot of play in some of these wires, but we can try that and see if we can rotate the switch. That's our first, I think that's our first approach. It's the least likely thing to get me into trouble, basically. So we'll loosen it off the front here. I have to loosen it enough so the little locking tab will fall out of, will slide back from the hole. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Most of these controls are, they're not held by the, I didn't do very good. They're not held by the nut so much. Come on. What's the problem with you? They're not so much held in place by the nut as a locking tab that sticks in a hole. I tell you, I can't get a grip on it. Yeah, maybe that's better. I had the tool adjusted wrong. What is going on here? I think I'm gripping the washer behind the nut, and I keep. There we go. Okay. Of course, this switch won't go anywhere quick because all those wires are holding it in place too. So if we go to rotate it, it really is a question of forcing it. And force anything, never the best idea. Okay, that's got to be out far enough. Now the little post I was talking about is right in that hole there. You can see a little metal tab. You see these other holes, position holes, they're all empty. That one's got the tab. So I just need to work that back. Okay. Work that back a little bit, and then just make sure the thing is unplugged for sure, because I'm going to be grabbing right on here. I don't want to. Now, rotating. Ugh. Yeah. Quite a few things are going tight right away. This is going tight. This is going tight. I can take this green wire off. Take the green wire off. Take the red wire and the green wire off. If I take the red wire and the green wire off, I think I can rotate this thing quite a ways. think that's what I gotta do. So let's do that. Looking all over the place for my pliers, and they're hanging up where they're supposed to be. So we're gonna try to get this red one off first. Yikes. You know, if this is a factory installed wire, then it'll be bent right around the lug and it won't pull off easy. Lots of solder there. There, I can see the wire where it's bent. Now, the question is, can I open that up? Probably not, because I didn't make it go cold. So let's see if I can't do that. First I'm trying to pull that wire out of there. Not gonna happen. Let's get a little more rude with it here. Huh. I think I can pull that out. I'd rather not shorten this wire up. I'm trying to preserve it. I don't want to replace it. Okay, come on. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so the red wire's out. Goes right there. I got lots of video showing where it goes, so I'd be an idiot if I make a mistake on that. Hey. You'd have to be an idiot to make that mistake. Well, I might qualify. So, let's... Think I'm too hard on myself here? Like everybody, I imagine there are other people in this world doing this work that, you know, would sit down at this radio and 15 minutes later she'd all be fixed up and good. And I'm always thinking I'm the doughhead here who's... Oh, now I'm unwinding the capacitor I put in there earlier. Come on, you can do it. So if you can make it a cold joint, you can usually peel the wires away if you can see them. Like that. Okay, so those two wires are off now. See that capacitor wire? I think I want to wrap that guy back around there. Yeah, it came right off. Yeah, that wasn't soldered very good in the first place. Who did that? Okay, how can we rotate it now? I'm really straining here, and I'm listening and worried about the sound of wires breaking and stuff like that. Okay, you know what? If I can... What's tensioning it now? These wires down here. These shielded wires here. This one in particular. Oh my gosh, there's another capacitor showing up. Two little tiny guys back there. Oh man. Okay, well we can almost reach them now. What else is tightening up here? So these guys, wow, I wouldn't want to release them from the ground here. That's a lot of work. Hey, look at that. This guy just gave up the ghost now. You know, that's kind of a weird, I shouldn't say weird. Well, we've taken another firm step in the wrong direction here. I have another high wattage resistor to deal with. And it looks like it's brown, green, orange. And 2 capacitors on the back. See, these wires are also pulling tight here. I don't want to yank on these. Oh boy. Isn't this another fine mess I've gotten myself into here? Well, let's find out where this resistor, where he really lives. A big high wattage resistor right on that. Right on that. Would it be R20? It's on the back of this wafer, so I think that's the B side. There's no B. A, B, C, D. I think that would be the C on there. No, before, didn't we saw that this was related to this position right here. So that is resistor is connected. It's connected in here somewhere. I don't see any leads coming out of this switch that hit a resistor. Right off the switch, right into a resistor. This one here. Come right off the switch, right into a resistor. R20. Let's see what see if it's a high wattage resistor. R20. So they're half watt or quarter watt, 33K, and that's definitely not what we're looking at here. This is more like like 16K, something weird like that. Well, another way, just look at this list of resistors and look for the high wattage ones. There's a 2 watt and a 1 watt. A 2 watt R6 15K. Hey, you know what? That could be it, because I said I thought it was 16K. I'm probably just wrong. It's probably 15K. Green is 5, I bet. Yellow 4, green 5. So that's the 15K. And please focus a little bit. 15K R2. 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 Phew. I don't think R2 is anywhere around here. It's going to be over this way somewhere, isn't it? There's R2. Nothing to do with well, it was an exciting moment, just went down the drain. Nothing to do with the switch. It's got to be something like R10, R20. R20. Okay, so let's try look at R20 in particular. R20, 33K. I already looked at that, didn't I? Can we spot the 33K? There's the 33K right there. There it is, right there. Orange, orange, orange. So that's the 33K. That's R20. So this is not R20. That's a goofy, like, big resistor to be associated with a tone control switch, don't you think? It's another case of a, the resistor somebody had being installed here. Well, I hunt long and hard to find another resistor that comes right off. Not there. Not there. You have to check all these wires. Here's a resistor here. There's two resistors here, R1 and R5. Fat chance, but let's take a look. R1. Hey, R2. Well, that's R2. We already talked about that. R6. Hey, R6. There's another one. 15. 2 water. R6. Maybe that's the guy. R5. There's R6 there. R6. No, there's no way it's associated with this switch down here. Okay. Let's follow this wire out here. What's that? PU. That's that might be like an external speaker, public. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but it's not a resistor there. Any other wires wandering away from here? This one here, goes to the volume control. The other way goes up in here, no resistor. Oh man, what's going on here? R14, R15. It could be R15. Especially it goes to the so this resistor is like, I think it was connected between 2 points on this switch, and I don't see anything like that. So what's this R10? Did I already look at that? R10 220 K. Red, orange. Wow. Okay, let's leave that aside for a minute. Maybe it'll clear up as we work along on these capacitors. Can I rotate this thing even further? Looks like I could, if I took these nuts off here, which I'm not going to do, the switch would start falling apart and I could get at more and more of it. I don't want to make the switch fall apart. And I rotated it the wrong way. No, because if I rotate it the other way, a lot of wires get tight right away. This is the way to rotate into the wires, so to speak. Except for these ones down here. Can I disconnect those? And will that be enough? You know what? This resistor is connected. Was connected to the positive side of this big filter capacitor down here. Is that a hint as to what it is? So let's work back that way. I'm back on that resistor again. So if we pick off these filter capacitors, says R10. Says R10. Don't you agree? R10. What's that say? R18. R18. That's what that says. R18. R18 to 7 half watt. like red, yellow, no, yellow is 4, red, purple, brown, red, purple, brown, red, purple, brown. No, it doesn't match at all. It looks like brown, green, orange is what that looks like. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, what a schmozzle. Okay, so if we try to identify the other end of that broken resistor, it's this red wire here. This is this red wire here, which is a red wire running all over the radio. So it's connecting to this resistor here, and lots of other stuff. So I think that's basically probably this capacitor is the one we're looking at. If that was the case, how could I connect a resistor here, and it could be R12? Nothing to do with the switch though. Yeah, well, maybe it's on the switch because there's some open positions and that's where they just used it, you know, to make connections. So it could be the case. It could have nothing to do with the switch whatsoever. Wow. So that would make it like R12. Have I already gone? Am I going around in circles here? Yeah. Okay, I am going around in circles. Let's just leave that thing out of here for now. Get back to trying to do what we were going to originally do. Some pretty stiff wires here. I really don't want to be bending them, and I'm yanking on them here by turning this. Is that far enough? Certainly far enough to work on the two closest sides of those two capacitors, but so these wires are not, yeah, they are stopping it right here. I don't want to be rotating this thing back and forwards, or, you know, a bunch more of these are going to show up. Can't pull it all the way out. There's no way there's enough slack for that. Shouldn't try disassembling it. There's no advantage to that. Remove all the wires from it and remove it entirely. Well, that would make it easy to work on and clean. Coming to the conclusion that that's what I'm going to have to do. Not the best conclusion, man. Can I even get at all the wire connections to remove them? Could do what I can do. I could release these two sides of these two capacitors. That might... That's a pretty darn stiff wire there. Could just pull this to the point where things break and then fix them after. Almost all the way up. I gotta release these wires down here. These guys here. And before I do any more, I better get a good photograph of that. You know, I'm gonna do it by video. So the way I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna isolate this little piece of video. So it's not really obvious to you when I'm stopping the camera unless I'm moving the camera at the same time and you see it start up in a new position. So, but what I'm gonna do is make a short piece of video of the detail of the switch. And it'll just look like part of this video, but I'll be able to isolate it and view it later. So we'll stop.